About a month ago, Aaron from Make It Work released a video on the Ecovac Window Robot that cleans your window. I have been looking for window cleaning robots for some time, and I decided to challenge without Aaron knowing to find a robot that can do same thing but for the fraction of the cost. So today we are going to look at the alternative for this Ecovac robot. We'll start in a couple of seconds. Before I dive into this video, I will be leaving a link to Aaron's video because you really should see it. This is really good video, good review about a very good robot. But one thing that really put me off about this robot is the price tag. Although I do believe that Ecovac is a really high-end product, spending 500 plus euros for a window cleaning robot was just a bit too much for me. That's why I decided to go on Aliexpress and find alternative there. I've previously visited a couple of shops here locally, did find a couple of robots. I think one of them was from Xiaomi for around 250-300 euros locally, but I at the end never trusted them because I wasn't able to test them and I didn't know how they would work in my scenario. I do believe that Ecovac would be good in my case, but what if I could find alternative that was around 70, 80, $90 or euros? Shipping included. So that's why a couple of weeks ago I spent some time on AliExpress, searched for a couple of alternatives, ran through the YouTube, ran through the web and found what people are thinking about them. There were some minimums that I wanted from my robot. First, it needed to support both wet and dry mode, meaning that I can use it to just dust off the windows, but also to wipe with wet cloth. Second thing that it needed to have is internal tank for the water, because there are some robots that allow you to use wet cloth to wash the windows, but because of the size of the windows and the quantity of windows, I wanted a robot that can mist the windows and clean them while the windows are still wet. Third, I wanted a robot that has some kind of emergency battery power. Most of those robots work on the vacuum, and for the vacuum they need motor, and for the motor they need power, and the power comes from the grid. So what happens if some dumbass like me, for example, and yes, this is actually what happened to me on the first day, on the first window, because I accidentally, don't know how I could do that, unplugged the robot from the wall socket. And what happened in my case, the robot stopped, but it continued to stay on the window because it has internal UPS or internal battery that allows it to run or to stay put for 10 to 15 minutes. Everything else the robot has is a plus. Some things I even didn't consider, but luck usually follows me and I was lucky enough that my robot ended up with those functionalities. These are the remote control. My first question is, why would you really want to have a remote control on the window? But remote control allows you to position or move robot so you can easily pick it up or detach it from the window. Second reason why to have a remote is to be able to remotely or from the other side of the window turn on and off the water spraying function. So there are a lot of reasons why some of the options that at first don't look appealing or don't look like something that you want are really nice to have. I decided to go for this type of robot. This one is called Even Pace F400. The difference between 400, 360 and some other models is that F400 is all-in-one robot, it has UPS, it has a water tank, it can wash windows or it can just wipe the windows with dry cloth, it has a remote, so everything that I need was included in the box. And by the way, if you're wondering, yes, I did try alternatives such as these magnetic window cleaners, the window cleaners on the stick, but unfortunately since I have a lot of windows, majority of my external walls are actually glass. And there are also a lot of windows that are not windows, you cannot open them but are fixed glass surfaces. Cleaning them for me was really hard. There are some windows that I wasn't able to clean in as long as we were in this apartment. So what do you get inside the box? You get the robot itself, and the robot is already attached to the safety cord, very long safety cord that has a carabiner on the side, and you can just tie it around whatever you want to be sure that it doesn't fall down on the street, especially if you're living in a high-rise such as myself. Then you also receive this extra cloth. Each time you clean the window, you have to replace them and wash them. In the box, you have one pair that is already installed and 4 additional pairs included. Besides that, you also have those rings. The rings are just spare rings that you may use if the original ones that are already pre-mounted somehow break. You get a power adapter with a very long cord, a remote with the batteries included, plus a spray that you can use to dampen the cloth before you wash the windows, manual, and also one small glass that you can use to pour in water inside the robot itself. Operation of the robot is very easy. First, of course, you need to make sure that the safety cord is attached and that it will hold if the robot does actually fall down. Second thing, you must ensure that the power cord is fully inserted in the power outlet. And you also have to make sure that the light on the robot is green. That means that the battery has been recharged. When the battery is green, you just put the robot against the window and turn the switch from off to on position. In a matter of a second or a second and a half, the robot will create a vacuum and you will not be able to move it by hand. Then you just need to press the button either on the robot or the play or start button on the remote and the robot will start the dry cleaning. I didn't mention that, but it is recommended that you start by dry cleaning the window. That will remove any dust or anything that is accumulated on the glass itself that doesn't need water for cleaning. After the robot finishes its routine, in the default state it will first go to the up right corner and then start the cleaning procedure, meaning that it will finish either at the bottom left or bottom right. You once again held it by hand, turn off the switch, the vacuum will stop and the robot will end up in your hand. Then you need to replace the cloth, use the spray and spray each of the pads 6 times, although I did spray around 8 or 10 times. Once again, repeat the process, put the robot against the window, turn the switch to on state, press play button or start button, the robot once again will start the cleaning, and each time it tilts to around 45 degrees, it will spray the window just where it is about to move. Don't worry, it may seem that no water is landing on the window, but it actually is. Of course, unless you're using it in some extreme conditions, such as high wind, then unfortunately due to wind it will not be able to miss the window. How good does the robot work? As I said, I tried it on a lot of windows. I think the total number of windows I cleaned with it in 48 hours was around 12. Some of them are small, others are big, and some of them actually haven't been cleaned in more than 7 or 8 years, because there was no way physically for me to access them and to be able to clean them. But as I said, the robot managed to clean all the windows, even those that were really dirty and messy, with just 2 passes. So what is the negative side about the robot? First of all, it is the noise. The noise of the motor or the vacuum, it is really loud. It sounds like a typical vacuum cleaner. Second of all, because this robot is a round one, it has problem with the corners. So each window at the corner around 1.5 by 1.5 centimeter is still dirty. Simply the robot couldn't reach it. But let's compare prices. Ecovac robot, the big box, you get everything that you need and it cleans corners for 500 euros or $500. This one that costs around 80 or 90 euros or dollars, depending where you want to purchase it, does almost the same thing. They are not the same, but they are almost the same. I do believe that Ecovac is a really good robot, but on the other hand, price of this robot is 5-6 times less. So I really do recommend, if you are searching for the window cleaning robot, sure, look at the brand name companies, but also shop around, because you may be shocked and find something that actually works, really good, and it costs much less. But, on the other hand, I still haven't had any issues with it. I'm not sure what is the standard warranty for Ecovac. It can be 12 months. In Europe, it is probably 24, because in Europe, companies need to make 24 months warranty for their periods if they want to sell it for our common people. If there is an issue on Aliexpress, I've read some comments, I've read some reviews. Unfortunately, you are on your own. It does say that this robot does have some kind of warranty. But then you will have to bear down the cost of sending this robot to China and also paying once again the cost of transport to you. And probably the cost of transport from, let's say, France or Croatia or wherever to China will be around the same as the cost of the robot itself. So, what's the final verdict? Yes, this is a really good purchase, and to be honest, at the end I really was also shocked because it did exactly what it was supposed to do. And sometimes on AliExpress you buy things that don't actually do what they were intended to do. This time it all worked perfectly. On the other hand, I was lucky and this product is still working for me. If all goes well, I really do hope that it will work at least one season and that at least this year I will have all my windows clean. So, what are your thoughts about the window robots? Do you already have window robot? Have you tried both expensive ones or cheap ones? If you would be buying window robot, what would you go for? For the Ecovacs or similar robots that are 2, 3, 4, 500 or even more euros? Or would you go for a robot that costs 60, 70, 80 or 100 euros? I really would like to hear your comments, so write them down. And also while you are writing your comment down, don't forget to hit the like button to say to YouTube that you like this video and that more people should see it. And also while you are already there, check that you are subscribed. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss on the next videos and of course my streams. Before I end up the video, I really would like to thank all those wonderful people that are supporting me and that have become YouTube channel members. Thank you all for all of your support. But let's not forget each and every one of you who has watched, liked, commented and shared my videos. Thank you. If you too want to support the channel, you can do so by clicking the join button down below and becoming a YouTube channel member for only €2 or $2 per month. Or you can go to my merchandise shop and get something there. Last but not least, you can always send me super thanks and I will be super thankful for that. I will be seeing you next time. Until then, bye bye and have fun.